Okay, in today's video blog for the Spar Spartan Challenge, I'm going to deal with the most important tool of any runner, and that's his runners. What I'm particularly going to concentrate on is runner care. Now, last night I went hill running with James McGarry and it absolutely bucketed rain. Now, we got very, very wet, and so did our runners. I was unfortunate enough to stand in a puddle that was actually deeper than the runner, so one foot got completely soaked. Now, the other one was just as wet by the time we finished. So what I'm just going to go through today is runner care, how to look after them, how long they should last, what they expect from them, and the first thing to do now is I'm just going to show you my runners. Now, this is what I wear. I wear a pair of Asics Gel 30-30, and how to look after them, I suppose, after they get wet. A lot of people put them in a tumble dryer, some put them in a washing machine, on a radiator, or in front of some heat source. I wouldn't recommend you do that. If you can, try and let them dry naturally. We got this talk earlier on when the Spartan Challenge started from an ASIC representative who informed us. He gave us how to, I suppose he gave us all the details on how to look after runners, and he says, do not put them in a washing machine, do not put them in a tumble dryer, on a radiator. He says, what you do is simply put your hand into the runner. This was all new to me. Take out the insole, just normally pop out easily enough, and just do the same with this one. And he says just leave the runner, just loosen out the laces maybe a little bit, and just leave the runner to dry naturally. Now, if you're like me and lucky enough to have two pairs, that's fine, it's easy done, but some of us only have one pair of running runners and it can be difficult because you have to wait for them to dry. It's not nice running in wet runners, so if you do that, that is the best way to let them dry, and just let them dry out naturally. If you want to extend the life of them, you have to take care of them, keep away from cold or heat or sunlight, which shouldn't be a problem in Ireland. And I wouldn't recommend wearing your running runners for other sports such as maybe soccer, indoor soccer, or tennis, basketball, anything like that. Those runners there aren't a really lightweight runner, wouldn't be what I consider a racing runner, and are more durable than the racing runners. The racing runners are a lot lighter and wouldn't last as long. The weight of the runner is a factor in how long it lasts. Probably the heavier the runner, the longer it will last because it's more durable material. Now, how long should a pair of runners last? That's a common question with a lot of runners. How long should runners last? Typically, they should last about 6 months, maybe an average 500 miles. Now, that depends on a lot of things. You might get more, you might get less. First of all, I suppose it depends on the surface you're running on. If you're running on grass, your runner's going to last a lot longer than running on, I suppose, tar on the road or on concrete. And also the weight of the person. Suppose somebody 10 stone isn't going to put as much pressure on a runner as somebody who's 15 stone. And how do you know when your runners are worn out? How do you know how to replace them? First of all, the first thing I would do is I would look, if you look at the bottom of the runner, if you look closely at the bottom of the runner, you will see wear marks, normally say around here, depending on where you land, and maybe if you're a heel striker, they will wear there, and the runner will be unbalanced. If you leave it sitting on a table, you'll be able to see if it wobbles in an unusual way. And if you compare both runners, unless they're pretty much the same, it means one of them is worn more than the other. If one is worn more than the other, you might as well replace them. Also, if you put your hand inside the runner, up in the forefront of the runner where the cushioning is, and if you press down, if that's really compressed or gone really hard and the bounce has gone out of them, it's time to replace them. And how do you extend the life of them? I suppose keep them away from heat, keep them away from cold. As I said, sunlight is not a big problem in Ireland. Your runners aren't going to get worn out with sunlight here. The racing ones are less durable because they're lighter. Some people have different ones for racing and different ones for training, and normally the training ones are heavier. Like I said, it depends on the weight of the person and what they're running on, be it grass, tar, concrete. The latter are a lot harder on runners and will wear them an awful lot more. So because they are the most important tool that you will have as a runner or a person who runs, it's important to keep them in good shape, look after them, and replace them when they need. So roughly the average is 6 months. Some people write on the insole the date of when they bought them, or if you're like me and you have a Garmin, or if you use a Runkeeper, you use some other form of tracking your mileage, or you have a diary or a program to work to, just keep tracking the miles, and roughly in around 500 mark, check them. Now, some people wear out runners as quick as 350 miles. Some people say they get 700 to 800 miles out of them. So it's really down to you. So hopefully you found this a little bit helpful, and you might go and check your runners, make sure they're okay, and if not, I'd advise changing them. Asics are a good choice. Thank you, bye bye.